And go.
Go.
Yeah, we use an esoteric collection of mods to run what we do here. And if you don't follow the correct steps in the correct order, it can get a little mad. Damage is indeed on, just double checking. Damn, it sure is a good thing that I designed this to be a much shorter tournament. Wonder if there's a way to get at least some form of shield mod on Xbox? A lot of the shield mods tend to be relatively complicated as compared to just a model change or a speed change.
Yeah.
Grim and Hydra's going out and hitting Demon Fox straight in the face. Seems like they tanked the majority of it. Oh!
Ooh.
Getting a good spin out of that Ares as their shield drops
Doing.
down a bit. Does not actually seem to have dropped them out entirely. Looks like that was fired through a shunt.
Oh.
Yes, it was. It carved off this little section of armor. Missing anything of consequence.
Just a flesh wound.
Just a flesh wound. Hydra Fire going wide as TGS holds back behind the plate for the most part. Demon appears to be waving around, taking the majority of the long-range fire so their team can get into position. Oh, looks like Rio's sniping the Ash Meadow's flank, spinning them around a bit. Not a perfect hit, but it did slow them down.
Slope armor.
It looks like Siat Grada is flying Welder Monkey this time. Now the true fight begins. Or at least TGS can now start firing on the enemy. They do not appear to have any sniper weapons. Focusing hard on Biggle. Now this can be a good strategy. Focusing your whole team on a single point to bring them down as quickly as possible, but it does leave the rest of your team completely vulnerable to be picked apart.
Yeah. If you focus the right target, it can throw the balance in your favor.
Wow. Basic tactics.
Amazing.
The drones seem to be working out pretty well for Op 4. Looks like Op 4 is losing focus on a particular target. They're keeping most of TGS engaged at all times. I say 3 of TGS. Where's the 4th? Ah, Tumor is hanging back. There he is. This is longer range Gauss weaponry. Trying to hit drones, it seems, and are bothering the rest of his team. Ash Bender's shields are down. Actually, most of TGS's shields are down. Here's Ash is relying on their gyro armor to keep their rear end protected. It's not going to help you much against an Ares. Alright. Zex is closing in. Behind Ash. Appears Velcro has taken manual control of one of the drones. Or at least is sitting in the cockpit. Potentially using that as a position to redirect the team. Big old spinners on the front, not active. Might be for stability reasons. But big old shields have gone down. It's taking significant damage. Heavy damage to his armor.
A lot of light armor.
Neither of both teams are in the zone. It is being left entirely open at this point.
I don't know if we're gonna need it.
Logo Bear speeding off. Majority of their drones seem to be locked onto Glorious Flame, keeping their shields down. Ash Meadow heavily engaged by two of the cruisers on Op 4's team. Preston is behind them. This has turned into quite the furball. Now Preston is behind, getting shot at by both Tumor and Demon Fox as Rio has taken possession of the zone. He's occupied it for 30 seconds. Now they only need to be in there for 120 seconds. Might be a smart plan for some of TGS to counter the capture. It appears they have not noticed, which is why I'm loudly broadcasting this to anybody that might be listening. TGS, you will be losing here shortly. And Demon makes it back into the center at 60 seconds on the clock. He's going to start decaying that.
There we go.
Demon takes some Ares fire, popping their shields and tumbling them slightly. Continuing to open up on Preston. One of Preston's spinners is still active. See if he plans to use it. Or is that just a decorative attachment? Not sure at this point. He still has both of his vector thrusters. Those are still functional. Rather surprising, actually.
Wow.
They seem to be working pretty well.
Amazing.
What color me impressed?
Ditto.
Majority of TGS seems to have refocused on Preston. Let's see how well those things behave under heavy fire as Glorious Flame is closing in for a ram. And crunches right off the side. Doesn't quite land where he wants to be as Preston's shield's coming back up just in time. Snips a section off the bow. Let's run the name tags off here. Get a better look. Now, TGS is losing the battle point race, but big chunks of Preston are falling off now. Or wait. No, that's Big Ol' Bear. What's going on there is Ash Meadow comes in for a ram, shields are up. If you have your shields up and you try to ram, that's just not going to do very much. It'll just bounce right off.
Integrity mode.
And that's right, Consi. If you bring an Imperial ship, it better be designed for ramming. And Glorious Flame does not disappoint as his shields go down. He's gonna have no choice here. The forward shields have fallen. The fires are on all decks. Literal hundreds of thousands of casualties per second. Still holding up strong. His weapon's still intact. Maybe weapon stripping isn't cracked up as it was referred to before. Though Preston is missing a big chunk of his ship where that 500 used to be. Still has a spinner. That is missing a 500 on both sides, actually, keeping those vector thrusters protected. Now the battle point race is closing down here. Ash and Demon Fox in very close formation with one another. Whether that's intentional or not, it's hard to tell. Ash might be going in for a ram here, right into Preston, who has shields that are still functional. Bounces right off. And Preston's shields are down. Now when you ram shields, you will be taking damage on your blocks, but all of the shield HP is actually being diverted to damage. So it's not completely worthless to ram somebody who has shields up. And Demon's going in for their proper ram here. Looks like they're targeting the guns on Preston. Vector thrusters seem to be still functional. Pretty surprising. A lot of the thrust on Demon still active. We're just under 8 minutes left on the board. Lots of slinger fire coming in. And a lot of blueberries are there too. Moral support, I imagine. Let's leave those two lovebirds for a bit. Go see what Glorious Flame is up to. Here's a lot of his rear thrust has been rendered offline. Pushing himself sideways, attempting to get where he needs to be. His majority of his frame is now gone. I believe that was his main aiming section and a shield emitter. You need that, bud. Can't just let that fall off.
No. Report from Iron League. ARP won the match against Rex.
ARP won the match. All right.
Yes, Tate won.
He was flying his carrier potato, wasn't he?
Yes, with his drones and a couple of welders.
Pretty impressive.
Indeed.
Barely. Tate was out of thrust and out of weapons. So it wasn't cut and dry, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Good work.
He won on a technicality, but a win's a win.
So, it looks as if the guns are gonna get stripped off on Demon here. Not because the guns failed, but the hull failed. There's just not a lot left on Demon. However, they're not losing the battle point race that badly at this point as Tumor comes back in and back out. Attempted to keep good cover. Firing long-range fire into Preston and Zex. Zex appears to be going broadside against Ash Meadow. Ash Meadow is doing their best to remain within the zone. A lot of the Eder cladding has been removed. And Demon Fox is now out of weapons and almost out of a ship, to be honest. trying to go for a ram with what thrust they have left. And I've seen that ship multiple times like that. Last time I saw it, I kicked it in half with a shrimp, but it appears Big Ol is the only one with functioning rotor rammers? Not sure what to call these. The rest of his ship isn't looking too hot. Op 4 refocusing on Tumor. Tumor doing his best to redirect the fire, but he has lost his rear engine half. Somebody just took an ice cream scoop to him. Bucket Excavators of Doom. That's a little long. Zex appears to be attempting to run from a ship that has no guns. He must have sensed the danger from the ram incoming. We're down to the last 3 minutes of the match. Ash Meadow still plenty of guns, but a lot of their thrust has been stripped or disabled. Casper rounds going live. Digging into the remaining armor. It is a very heavily built ship. Demon Fox goes for a swing and a miss on that ram. Go TGS. That's right, Tate. Gotta keep cheering for him. Majority of Op 4 hanging around in the center. And majority of TGS quite far outside. Glorious Flame has 2 slingers and an Asterius left. Ash Meadow still has a Gladius. Or 2. Totally exposed. Gladius and the slinger. Arrows had some arrows. I will send more about it later. Alright. Let me know, I suppose. Tumor taking some Grimfire. Oh, and a nice Ares spins him around. Slams him into his own blocks. Really breaking him apart at this point. So little left, but so many guns. Glorious Flame attempting to ram Big Ol. Do something about him, I suppose. But he's just getting cut apart now. All these drones flying around. I'm sure we'll hear from the teams about the drones later on. We're gonna have 2 teams with drones that are winning. Well, one that lost catastrophically, apparently.
Yeah.
I believe that was invalid with the PPC rotor turret drones, which is an idea.
Yeah.
Alright, here we go. Last 30 seconds before the gravity turns on. But it looks to be this can only really go one way. Demon Fox finally being cut to pieces. Majority of the thrusters have been rendered offline. still there, but can't imagine there's a lot left in them. Time's up. That's it. Here's your gravity field, boys. TGS concedes. Alright. Thanks for being good sports.
EGS concedes.
And I'm getting the feeling they would have been ejected from the sphere rather soon, regardless. Alright.
Alright, so Op 4, I'll...
Op 4 will be moving on.